Hey, what's going on, everybody? So happy to see you here on another Lost In. Sold for just 6 years in Brazil, from 1973 to 1979. The Ford Maverick left a bold legacy here in Brazil. And I'd gamble to say that the most ardent Maverick loyalists couldn't hold a candlestick to the Brazilian passion for this vehicle. The Ford Maverick was essentially a rock star here in Brazil. And the true Maverick loyalists and purists live here in Brazil, and not in the big old US of A. This is Lost In. Strap in. Let's go. The original US Ford Maverick was sold from 1970 to 1977. It was based on the Ford Falcon and the underpinnings of a Mustang II. We won't talk about that. The intention of its build was to seek out buyers looking for an affordable compact vehicle, and also give buyers a choice from the Japanese vehicles that were flooding the market at the time. As the Malaise era forever changed the automotive landscape, the Ford Maverick metamorphed into a muscle car. But the Maverick story here in Brazil was akin to a rock star visiting Ford showrooms at the right moment, in the right place at the right time. Or another analogy that's excellent is like the Ford Maverick was a jet aircraft landing on a racetrack. And everybody was just like, oh my goodness, this is cool. While the Americans were really feeling the depression of living in the Malaise era of vehicles, Brazil was living it up. Ford was ready to pounce on the opportunities of a healthy economy, having deep ties in Brazil for quite literally decades, starting way back with the Model T, forging a controversy history of Jonestown type of factories. But Ford honed their passenger cars in the 1960s, one by absorbing Willys Overland, gaining a substantial Brazilian footprint. That acquisition from Willys Overland also included tooling from Renault. This is how Ford built the foundations for the Maverick's popular fan base. And this tooling was utilized to make the compact Ford Corcel. But Ford was looking skyward, adding the Galaxy sedan in 1967, and this vehicle became Ford's Brazilian flagship. Based on the 1966 Ford Galaxy, had Ford's wide-block V8 and sported a lofty price tag. And VW had a strong presence here in Brazil, but VW could not compete with something like Ford's Galaxy. But Ford really needed a middle ground. They had their Econo car, the Corcel, and they had the Galaxy. They needed something in the middle. There were a lot of buyers that wanted something better than a Corcel, but couldn't shell out the gin for something like a Galaxy. 1973, enter the Maverick. Brazilian Maverick's path of supremacy was set in stone. And this all came from the Brazilian miracle in 1969, which had a really great boom to the economy here. So this really worked out in the Maverick's benefit. Brazil became that little pony car's hat trick. Produced in São Paulo in 1973, was the 1965 Mustang reincarnation, right down to the performance upgrades, offering a 5.0 V8. Brought from America, this was an option that was not available in the famous Opala. die was cast. The Maverick was dominating motorsports here in Brazil. Unfortunately, the energy crisis of 1973 had different plans for this little pony. Killing the Maverick's future prosperity was the high prices and scarcity of fuel. This caused Ford to quickly dump the V8. And also the inline six. And give it a downgrade little motor. In its replacement came the 2.3 liter SOC. At least it's a 2.3, but considering the weight of the Maverick, this was extremely underpowered. There was an increasingly small number of pony car buyers, but Ford did continue to offer the big V8. Although numbers plummeted in sales. And things kept getting worse for the little pony car. After a crushing amount of foreign debt here in Brazil, in the sum of $92 billion, extreme hyperinflation, the recession hammered the country of Brazil. Unfortunately, from 1973 to 1979, Ford only sold about 180,000 of these. And that was the conclusion of the Brazilian Ford. It was here, it was awesome, it rocked hard, left some rubber. And was gone. If you like what we do here in Loston, consider giving a thumbs up, subscribe, and share this with your primo. I love hearing your corrections, stories. Tell me about who you knew that had one of these, or if you've ever gotten to own one. Please, I want to know. I love the Ford Maverick. It is such a cool car. And until next time, I'll see you on the flip side. Até a próxima. Ciao, ciao.